lot of fake news today. Feeling good, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Welcome into Timeline T. I'm your host, D. Sam D, aka Sanders May Jr. You know, there's a certain time of the year where fake news is a real thing. And with the NBA Finals being done and the Nuggets having their parade and Michael Malone talking trash to the Lake Show with the percolator, Big Perk, out here fake news in it. Or maybe not fake news. Maybe, we'll see. Second segment. I have never seen so many people interested in Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is hardly, if ever, in the conversation of being one of those ones, but with all the news we've gotten over the last 48, maybe even 96 hours, I've never seen this much Bradley Beal love. Fabricated? Or people are just making stuff up just to get some clicks off? We'll talk about it. It is a Thursday. Big weekend coming up. Juneteenth. Let me know what your plans are for Juneteenth on the replay in the comments, if you have any. Keep it clean, please. Okay. There's a lot to get into. It's a lot of little news, but we're going to spend a lot of time on Bradley Beal because apparently we need to really dissect Bradley Beal. Because apparently he is now one of those ones, and a lot of teams are vying for him. The Athletic has a lot of stories on it. Knicks tape is in the mix for Bradley Beal. So let's go on and get into it. Bradley Beal's your man's allegedly on the move. The Knicks front office has already let necessary people know they would be interested in Bradley Beal if he were to become available. But Beal becoming available is more complicated than it would be with any other player. Now, this is in regards to a story in Athletic. We have it here. It is a lot to decipher. It's a lot to go over. But really, it comes down to a few things. The Wizards are not trying to give up too much. They got, they could have done a trade about 3 years ago. Instead, they're trying to move him, or allegedly they're thinking about moving him, after concluding the first season of a 5-year, $251 million contract. So you have Bradley Beal, who coulda, shoulda, woulda been traded years ago. The Wizards back up the Brinch truck, give him the max, 5 years, $251 million, and 1 year into it, both sides allegedly are reconsidering whether they should continue this partnership. So now, Knicks tape is making their way into it. And now I know you're wondering, well, how can the Knicks get Bradley Beal? Well, according to The Athletic, there is a viable way that they can get Bradley Beal. Now let's go over it and see if this makes any sense. If the Knicks end up high on Beal's list, and in parentheses, and we are many ifs into the future right now. So of course, this is just made up shit. He's letting you know this is not reporting. This is not sources. This is just spitballing, making things up. But we'll roll with it anyway, because it is a Thursday. There's not that much going on. And Bradley Beal somehow has been reincarnated into Kobe Bryant, and everyone wants Bradley Beal. So it may not take New York's trove of picks and up-and-comers to swing a deal. So that's interesting here. The Knicks have a large expiring contract in Evan Fournier's $18.9 million. The Knicks have been holding on to this contract for a while, and now allegedly it is time for them to cash in on having Evan Fournier marinating on that bench with $18.9 left on the deal. They could pick up Derrick Rose's team option worth a hair more than $16 million. They could throw in one of the young guys, and the finances would work. Now, understand something here. You are the Washington Wizards. You just gave Bradley Beal a 5-year, $251 million deal. And you're willing to part with him for Fournier, Derrick Rose, a youngin', and not even a lot of the picks that the Knicks have? That's a little bit hard for me to decipher. I'm supposed to give up Bradley Beal, fresh off a 5-year, $251 million deal, and I'm going to get back an expiring contract in Evan Fournier, a team option expiring contract in Derrick Rose, one of your youngins, and maybe not even a lot of your picks? Make it make sense. But anyway, we'll continue reading. New York has another advantage too. It owns the Wizards' 2024 first round pick, protected through 2026. Washington will probably prefer its future back. So, the Knicks going to give the Wizards back their own pick? Previous leadership under team president Tommy Shepard, who got let go this spring, made plays to bring that draft pick back to DC, according to league sources, but never got close to pulling off a deal. It's an enticing piece specifically for the Wizards, more so than the other 3 protected first rounders the Knicks own from other teams. They also have all of their first round picks beyond 2023. The beauty of a Beal trade is that if New York could score him for little, let's say one of the young guys, and enough expiring salaries to make the money work. Again, this is not reporting, it's purely speculation. So the Knicks are out here, and again, I'm going to keep saying it because I don't want people to think this is a real thing. This is all speculation, but this is painting the picture of what a deal would look like. You're telling me the Washington Wizards are going to give up Brad Beal for Fournier, Derrick Rose, a youngin', maybe Grimes, and the Wizards' own pick back? If that happens, then yes, the Heat should spin the block. If that's all it takes, it's essentially a salary dump. If you're getting to the point where Bradley Beal, fresh off a 5-year, $251 million deal, is a salary dump, then more teams than the Knicks should be involved. If that's all the Wizards are really here for, is salary dumping Brad Beal, which I'm not mad at, by the way, but you can't just get back Fournier, Derrick Rose, maybe a Grimes, and your own pick back. That's crazy to me. But again, speculation will continue. Okay, so it would mean placing a dynamic scorer alongside Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle while still having enough left over to go after a superstar whenever one becomes available. But the Knicks must consider the fit too. So then it goes into, how does Brad Beal fit anywhere else outside of Washington? It talks about how he had his best offensive season alongside Russell Westbrook. He would not have a Russell Westbrook in New York. Jalen Brunson is okay, but I don't think he's a point guard. He's a shoot-first combo guard that happens to play point guard. There's a lot of those in the league, by the way. I'm getting into a lot of arguments and debates in the comments off of a short that I did here on YouTube in regards to Jamal Murray being no worse than the third best point guard in the league. A lot of people are throwing Ja Morant at me as if Ja's a real point guard. We know he's not. I don't understand what people are doing there. But anyway, so Brad Beal's best season was with Russell Westbrook. He will not have that in New York because he has Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson is a score-first point guard. And I use point guard loosely. So is he healthy? So again, there's an issue of, does it fit? Does he fit in the offense? Now, again, Tom Thibodeau, the meniscus tearing taskmaster, does not have an offense. He does not run any sets. It is a bunch of pick and rolls and iso ball. So Brad Beal could fit into that. It's just now you got 3 dudes to make happy instead of 2. And we saw, especially in the playoffs, especially against the Heat, how sometimes Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle really don't know when the others should take turns. Now you're adding in a third guy potentially to fight for limited shots in an ISO heavy offense. Good luck with that. Now you're talking about, is he healthy? During the early part of Beal's career, stress fractures sidelined him when he first came into league. The injury-prone label got slapped on him. Beal hated that. But staying on the court has been a problem. 2018-2019 season was the last time he played more than 60 games. It's a downward trend any team interested in Beal would have to consider. Now, I talked about that the other day. Where was it? Let's see. Let's go to Basketball Reference. I said, like, Beal is clearly on a downhill trend, not just in games played, but I think in overall ability. I think he's peaked. And if he's peaked, what are you really expecting from Bradley Beal turning into 30 years old? Bradley Beal at 30 years old, what exactly are you expecting? Because we've seen the numbers take a steep decline. You know, the years with Rusty were great, or the year with Rusty was great. Then he followed up with another 30 ball. But since then, because again, in NBA age, 25 to 28 is kind of your athletic peak. Of course, you have anomalies of guys that can still play at a high level into their 30s. I won't get into the guy that just broke the scoring record, but we know what people do to make sure their bodies are right. Okay? But in regards to Brad Beal, you're going to give up. Well, first of all, the Wizards had no choice but to pay him, right? But unfortunately, now you're looking at a guy that's making too much money for what he brings to the table. This Bradley Beal is not a number one option on the championship team. So now you're paying this guy, you know, max money, and he hasn't played, you know, more than 70 games or even more than 60 games since 2019. So 4 straight seasons of, you know, battling injuries, load managing, so on and so forth. That's a real thing to decipher. Do you want to take that risk? Let's get back to the article. His defense isn't great. Another thing we brought up yesterday. Where was that defensive rating? Let's see. Where is it? Okay. His defensive rating. That's defensive win shares. Where's defensive rating? There we go. Defensive. Can y'all see that? Let's see. No, you cannot. Let me squeeze into window. Pause. Now you should be able to see it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now, again, 110 is not that great, but that's the best it's been since 2017, 2018. That's the best defensive rating he's had. His defensive rating since then is astronomical. 117, 115, 114, and 117 the last 2 years. That is putrid on defense. That is hella problematic on defense. I don't know what you're expecting. Again, so you're going to pay this man, and let's take it off the Knicks because as Thomas is mentioning here, and salute to you, Thomas, for pulling up, Beal would also accept a trade to Miami. But again, a lot of speculation going on right now. It certainly will make more sense to accept a trade to Miami than to the Knicks, but we'll see how that goes. But let's see, how does this fit in the Heat culture? Someone who has a 117 defensive rating? What's Spo going to do with this? What is Spoelstra going to do with this? 115 defensive rating? 117, 114. This is really horrible defensive rating. So unfortunately, I don't think any of these teams are a fit that we're hearing constantly mentioned in this Bradley Beal stakes. The Sixers have already come out, and I think it's more posturing than anything, but the Sixers have already come out and said they're not interested in a Bradley Beal trade. They believe in Maxey. Okay, cool. Now we have the Knicks on the radar today, and this is that time of the year where the Knicks are always thrown in the mix and used for leverage. Every single year, the Knicks are thrown into the mix in terms of, well, the Knicks can make a play for this guy. The Knicks can make a play for this star, for that star, for everybody's star, only to end up, no offense, with Jalen Brunson. So It's that time of the year where it's the New York media and also agents and also rival GMs stirring the pot, making sure to get the Knicks involved because that makes everybody's antennas go up and the awareness gets higher. It's that time of the year. The Knicks are going to get Brad Beal for Fournier, Derrick Rose, a youngin' like Grimes, and a pick? How, Sway? How? Let's get back to the article. So his defense is not great. Let's see. Wow, they're really going in on his defense. Okay. And then there's the no trade clause in his contract. All right. I tried to find out if there was a, what they call that? A trade kicker in his contract. Let's see if I wasn't able to find that out, but let's see if this reporter was able to find it out. If Bill gets traded, the no trade clause carries over to his new team too. Let's say that team is the Knicks, and let's say Bill's presence doesn't improve them how they hoped. He's expensive enough that New York could rise above the first or second apron, two thresholds a little above the luxury tax that limit teams' abilities to make certain roster moves. Okay, so that's something to think about. Because of his contract and how high it is, again, 5 years, $251 million, that could push the Knicks into the first or second apron, which are things you have to worry about if you're Dolan. In 2024 or 2025, a starting lineup of Brunson, Beal, RJ Barrett, Randall, and Mitch Robb would cost $144.6 million, a hair above the projected salary cap for that season. And that doesn't account for the possible contracts of likely free agent to be Josh Hart or either of New York's extension-eligible players this summer, Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Thompson. Of course, any of these guys could be on the Wizards in this scenario too. So Quickley or Obi could be that young player in the deal with Fournier and Derrick Rose. Again, not reporting, pure speculation. Nothing about the trade kicker. All about the luxury tax. Okay, I'm not seeing too much in regards to the contract itself. Okay, so there's not much there in regards to, there's no trade kicker, because I'm sure this report would have mentioned it. So let's say it doesn't work with Beal, the Knicks want to move on. First, Beal would have to agree to a trade, and if he does, he would presumably want to go somewhere else he could win. You don't negotiate a no trade into your contract to go off a sign a deal that sends you to the Shanghai Sharks. Cheap attempt at the joke did not land. While many teams that are attractive to multi-time all-stars are also over the first apron, that's another luxury tax reference, or maybe even the second apron. Again, another luxury tax reference. Either way, those organizations would have the same restriction as the Knicks. They could not take in more salary than they could give out in a trade. That means the Knicks and Beal would have only two options. Either Beal would have to agree to go to a team that's cheaper just to get out of New York, which is possible, but limits the Knicks' options even more inside a CBA that's already restrictive, or the Knicks would have to trade him for someone who makes the same salary as him down to the cent. And guess what? That player does not exist. So, again, after hearing all of that, let me adjust these headphones real quick. After hearing all of that, it literally does not make any sense for the Knicks to pursue Bradley Beal. But that's not going to stop people from writing articles about it. That's not going to stop The Athletic from getting their clicks off by talking about it, because the Knicks are always in the mix every offseason. Again, the Knicks are on a perpetual hunt for a star. Is Bradley Beal one worth targeting? So there's a whole bunch of stuff about Bradley Beal. Now, we have the breaking news with Shams Charania earlier today. The Kings have engaged in trade talks with the Wizards for Bradley Beal. Now, if we want to get into that and see, well, what would the Kings have to give up? Let's see if Shams has said anything in regards to that. Another team that's had, it's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given its no trade clause, but right now, there does not appear to be a clear pathway for the two sides. That's because Beal's contract is too crazy. Like even if we want to go with the narrative we talked about yesterday about, you know, the Kings potentially selling high on Sabonis, you would still have to add more money to that deal to make it work. And are you really sold on a De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal backcourt being an upgrade over the, you know, the high-low game with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis? I don't know if I'm necessarily rolling that a De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal backcourt would be better than the high-low action you could run with Fox and Sabonis. So I'm not sure if that's an upgrade. I mean, you're getting what you would assume is a better player. But again, if you're not that high on Sabonis long-term, if you think he's peaked, it could just be a way to get out from having to always have to be, you know, pigeonholed to dealing with Sabonis. But Sabonis giving you perpetual double-doubles every single year. And yes, he was an all-star last year. But it's just kind of like, you know, he's limited. You know, he's pretty much reached his apex. He's peaked. So do you trade that for someone in Brad Beal who also has peaked, maybe even is on the beginning of his decline, but you would assume makes you more dangerous in the playoffs? So you could potentially have De'Aaron Fox, Brad Beal, Keegan Murray. Maybe that makes you reconsider Harrison Barnes and making him run it back. I don't know. But that's why it's hard for me to believe all this stuff when it comes to, you know, Brad Beal. Like, we're doing all this talk, all this content for Brad Beal. How good is Brad Beal in 2023 going into 2024? Is he worth all of this? And now we have the next stop, which is Miami, which Thomas brought up earlier. The Miami Heat are, quote, above the rest of the league, end quote, for Bradley Beal's preferred landing spot. Bradley Beal has had an eye on the Miami Heat for years. Again, they're referencing that same article I read from y'all earlier. I read to y'all earlier. So what would the Heat have to do? If the salaries are the main thing, if the Knicks are able to get out of it, get Brad Beal allegedly, speculatively, if that's a word, with just Fournier, Derrick Rose, and a youngin'. So I'm going to need Spot Track. Let me go ahead because I need to see who's an expiring contract on the Heat. Because that means you don't have to give up Bam. And you probably maybe have to give up Tyler Hero. Maybe. Team salary caps. Contracts by team. That's what I need. Contracts by team. Okay, give me what team? All teams. No, I need Miami. Let's go to Miami. Okay, let's see. So Tyler Hero makes 120. Is this how many years he has left? He has 4 years left. Man, I need to know. All right, let me see. I guess I got to play around with this. Free agent year, contract start year, drafted and undrafted, active, signed age, signed value. I need contract end year. That's what I need. All right. So let's just go to Tyler Hero. I guess we need to click on it to dive deeper into his contract. All right, so his contract is up. So he's got a few more years. He's got 3 more years on his contract. Well, 1, 2. He's got 4 more years on his contract. So the money doesn't really make a lot of sense. 120. 120. Okay, so we have that. Okay, this window's not working for me right now. I'm not sure why. Okay. Yeah, Sacramento's in the mix. We'll see. I don't know if I like that deal, but we'll see. Agent year Miami update. Good Lord. Website is bugging out today. All right, so he's got some time left. What about Duncan Robinson? His money's not all the way guaranteed. There's some funny money in there. See, some funny money in there. All right, so he's making 20 mil a year though. So your prop, see, that's not an expiring deal. The Heat don't have expiring contracts that are worth a damn anyway. Because you need someone that has a lot of money left that you can move. It's Lowry. Lowry is, he's a free agent. Okay. So can't do nothing there unless you sign him back, which would not be the smartest thing to do. Caleb Martin, player option. So you can lump in Caleb Martin. You would have to convince him to pick up his own. Oh, no, that's next year. Yeah, I don't know how the Heat do this deal. How did the Heat get Brad Beal? The money doesn't work unless you have to put in Tyler Hero. I mean, maybe you could get away with Duncan Robinson, but you're going to have to add a lot more people to that deal. You could probably get away with it if you do Tyler Hero in another piece and then throw in some picks. But that's why all this stuff is like, I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got here when it comes to Sacramento. I don't know how we get here when it comes to Miami. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't think Bradley Beal is worth all this, to keep it a buck with y'all. I do not believe Bradley Beal is worth all this drama. Bradley Beal is a good player. He's on the downhill trend, bro. Like, Brad Beal is not him anymore. Yes, he can get you 20 plus, and that's fine, but you're going to give up all of that? And even if you don't have to give up all of that, if you're the Knicks, Fournier, Derrick Rose, Grimes, or Obi in a pick, so you could have 3 dudes standing around being black holes. Jalen Brunson's a black hole. Julius Randle's a black hole. And Brad Beal, unless he's got someone feeding him like he did with Russie when he went for 30 plus, he's a black hole. What's his usage rate? Let's see. Usage rate. Bro, look at the usage rate when he was putting up 30 pieces. And this is with Russell Westbrook. 34 usage rate. And then a 31 usage rate. We round up here. And then a 29 last year. He's a black hole, bruh. You got a 31 usage rate and you only average 23 points a game. That's not that efficient. As someone that studies these games and analyzes the hell out of it, you got a 31 usage rate and you're in the low 20s, that's bad efficiency. 3-point attempt, percentage of field goal attempts from 3-point range. He has 27% of his threes. 27% of his total field goal attempts are threes. And what did he shoot last year? 37%, but how many did he take a game? Did he take a lot? He only took 4 a game. So that means a lot of jumpers, a lot of mid-range, a lot of middies, which, the guard in me loves, but in this era, it's hard to get that off. Let's take a look at the shot chart. Y'all know how I do. Let's see, where were the bulk of his shots? The bulk of his shots were in close. That's interesting. And he was still ineffective, 46%. He shot better from top of the key than from under 16 feet. That's weird. So his splits are going to be weird. This is a weird shot chart. Oh boy. Look at this shot chart. Let me get this lined up for y'all so y'all can see in totality. Look at this shot chart. How do you analyze this? Thomas, Tyler Hero Duncan Robinson and draft pick. I mean, if that's all it takes to get Brad Beal, then that kind of tells you what people think of Brad Beal. That would never work in 2K. So you see a lot of reds. So he's not that, even though the percentage of threes is good, slightly above average, you can see from the shot chart, does this look like an above average three-point shooter? I'm showing you the makes and the misses. From this shot chart, does this look like someone who is a above average three-point shooter? I'm going to go all the way around. Y'all let me know if this looks like someone who is an above average three-point shooter. That don't look like it to me. And then there's a lot of missed middies in here too. It's a lot of missed middies. Now he could finish around the rim, although he also could miss around. Good Lord, yo, this is a lot of bricks, bro. Let's keep this shit a buck. It's a lot of bricks, man. For a dude that's supposed to be him, I'm supposed to give up what for Brad Beal? And this is the production I'm going to get? This is a lot, man. This is a lot of misses, man. $251 million over 5 years, and 1 year into the deal, the Wizards are trying to get out from underneath the contract. Shoots horrible on the road, 30% from three on the road. So that a lot of those misses, all these must be on the road, bro. A good chunk of these must be on the road then. Because 30% on the road, that's like LeBron. LeBron was shooting 29% away from, Staples / crypto. 43% at the crib, but 31% on the road. That's horrible. For a guy that's supposed to be a scorer, a shooter, that is not that good, bro. Like, this is where you really get to learn a player. And I know it just looks to just be numbers, but sometimes you can really get a good gauge adding the eye test, which even though Spoelstra says we have untrained eyes, I believe my eyes are trained, and the people that pull up here on a routine basis seem to have trained eyes. You take our trained eyes with this data and you merge the two. And we're looking at Brad Beal, who I don't think is worth all the content that he is, not forcing, but that he is creating right now. This included, this live stream included. But we're looking at the eye test now, and he's 31% from three on the road. I don't know how many teams actually want Brad Beal. I think if the Wizards are going to give him away in a salary dump, a lot of teams will be interested. But if you're asking for a contending team to give up significant pieces for someone who, in my opinion, is on the downside of their career, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It just doesn't. All right, let's see what else we could get into here. All right, let's slide over to your man's the percolator. The percolator, he's trying to create content. He knows the season's over. We have that weird period where it's after the NBA Finals, but before the NBA draft. So we got like a week's worth. The draft is next week. So we got another 5 days of shows, maybe 4, if it's going to be hardcore, 4 days of shows to just get content off for these 24-hour networks. And your man's perk jumped out the window, and he said he wants to see Ja Morant play for the Miami Heat. The art of the take. I've been trying to tell y'all that every day there are people that are trying to say the thing to make everyone gravitate towards the content and check out the content and so on and so forth. This is an attempt at that. He wants to see Ja Morant again. So this is also not reporting. Just like the Bradley Beal to the Knicks story. It's not reporting. This is all speculative. This is where we're at now, where Big Perk, the percolator's got to come out here. And because he's got hours of television to fill and his commentary is necessary, he wants to see Ja Morant play for the Miami Heat. Now, I'm not going to dignify it. I'm just here to tell y'all, this is what we're going to get until we get to next Thursday night when Big Vic is finally unveiled to the world for the San Antonio Spurs. This is the type of content we are in store for the next 5 days, 5 business days. We're going to get a lot of stuff tomorrow to carry us through the weekend. We're going to get Monday. Like, we need the Ja suspension to keep it a buck. We need Adam Silver, who said after the finals, we're waiting until after the finals. It's after the finals. Your sport needs content right now. We got Big Perk out here saying Ja Morant needs to be in Miami because of the culture. That same culture that harbored Myers Leonard. If you know, you know. So I don't understand how we're out here. And Adam Silver told us after the finals, he made an agreement with the NBPA to go ahead and, all right, we can lay the hammer down now or we could wait. Let's not interrupt the Nuggets shine. Let's go ahead and just hold off until the finals. Well, the finals are done, bruh. This time tomorrow, Joker's back in Serbia. Finals is done, bruh. I'm not saying lay down the hammer just for the sake of laying down the hammer, but I'm just saying we need something to talk about so dudes like Big Perk, the percolator, don't have to be out here just making up shit. That's where we're at right now. Where Big Perk is out here just saying, I think the Heat culture would do wonders for Ja Morant. Cool story, bro. What else you got? Nothing else? Clearly, if that's the best we got, if that's the best take of the day, is jumping out the window saying, I want to see Ja Morant in Miami, then that tells you, Adam Silver, hurry up. And here's the quote. That's the culture. That's the organization he needs to go to. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, bro. All right, let's go ahead and get into some fun. The parade, I don't know if it's still in place, but we got the clips. Your man's, first of all, Jokic's wife got hit with a beer can in the face. I don't know who's throwing beer. They try to chuck it to Jokic, I guess, for him to get it off. Oh, it was a ricochet. That was a ricochet. Okay, so she caught it off the ricochet. I thought someone, like, not purposefully, but like inadvertently direct shot hit her in the face. That was not the case. It took a ricochet. Yeah, it bounced. Then it bounced off Jokic, right? It bounced. Yeah, it bounced off. It was a ricochet. Okay. Much to do about nothing. Michael Malone, though, who is all gooned out. Now, salute to Michael Malone. He's from Queens, like your boy. Salute to Michael Malone. But he's out here looking like he on the block. He looked like he could be on Steinway. So let's go ahead and hear from your mans as they introduce Michael Malone at the parade today. Yo, is he repping the set? Michael Malone is repping the set. Bruh, he outside. That's Steinway. That's Steinway. He might have snuck over to QB. He might have snuck over to QB a few times the way that he's repping. You see the Cuban link. You see the Cuban link. You see the snap back to the side just so slightly. You see the Ray-Bans. Like, it's all happening for Michael Malone, and he's repping the set. Black T-shirted out. Like, I don't know, man. He outside. Michael Malone, the Lakers' daddy. Michael Malone getting repped heavy. And you see him rocking the shirt. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So he's he might be out here like, Jimmy Butler is out here trademarking all types of stuff. Michael Malone got his own merch at the parade. Salute to the hustle. That's some queen shit. If you know, you know. Repping the set, repping his pops. All the dudes are shirtless. Jeff Green allegedly grabbed a mic from a Nuggets reporter and he straight up told her, "I'm sorry, I'm drunk." You see Ish Smith out here shirtless. So, the Nuggets are living it up today at the parade. KCP out here almost shirtless. He got the ice out. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Let's see what else we got. Jokic, who is there, is not on the bird yet back to Serbia, not on the private jet that he requested from the owner's son yet, but to quelch all the rumors, he heard all of us talking about how, he don't like his job, he don't want to be there, all of that. He wanted to clear that up today. Do I believe him? I believe a drunk Jokic believes what he's about to say, but I think a sober Jokic does not believe this. The best day of his fucking life. All right, there's your man Joker. And Michael Malone is taking bottles to the head, apparently. All right, I don't want to get no copyright, so let's see. Oh, yeah, they got all types of brown liquor. Oh, Michael Malone with the brown liquor? I'm trying to see what type of licks that is. Did DeAndre passed it off? No flask needed. We just guzzling out here in public? Okay. So the Nuggets are turned up. See if there's any other vids we can... Nope, no other vids. All right, we good. Let me see, maybe sports vids got something different. Michael Malone. No ice out here. So he got liquored up and then he had the Cuban link out. But now this is before that. So a little bit more subdued here. Looks like he's about to get a little emotional. Shout out to Queens. I agree, Thomas. I agree. Former Bull legend Calvin Booth put some respect on his name. Bulls legend Calvin Booth. All right, so your man's Michael Malone, very, very emotional. And then he went to turn up and live like he was back on Steinway and turned all the way up and had the ice out and, is out here. It's a very different story, between like an hour or so. Yeah. Michael Malone, salute. Let's go ahead and slide into some NFL. Jonathan Taylor has had talks about a new contract, and he's hoping to land an extension before the season starts. So again, the Colts and Jonathan Taylor have had talks about a new contract, and he's hoping to land an extension before the season starts. That doesn't mean it's going to actually happen. He just hopes to land an extension. And if you go on my channel right now, there's a video that I dropped today about how this is the worst time ever in the history of the NFL to be a running back, because you're going to be severely underpaid. So Jonathan Taylor, while he has Josh Jacobs, who signed the tag, so he's accepting the money. No, excuse me, Tony Pollard. He's the one that signed the tag. And you have Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley not signing the tag and not reporting to camp. Jonathan Taylor, and we got Dalvin Cook out here looking for a job. Jonathan Taylor is trying to get his bread while he can. And I don't know if that's going to be guaranteed, bruh. Like, Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing, and the Raiders still hit him with the franchise tag. So while these numbers are cool, Taylor had, 2,171 total yards in 2021 with 20 touchdowns, but missed time to injury in 2022. None of that matters. It just matters that you're a running back, and this league has shown that they are not trying to pay running backs. So I don't know what's going to happen with Jonathan Taylor, but I unfortunately think he's going to go by the same way as Saquon, as, Tony Pollard, as Josh Jacobs. Hopefully not Dalvin Cook, but he's probably going to end up on that tag. He is probably going to end up on that tag, because why pay him more than what you have to pay? This is capitalism. This is business. Should Jonathan Taylor get paid more than Corey Davis, who we discovered on the stream, makes damn near the same money as all the top running backs? Yes, he should get paid more than Corey Davis. But do the owners agree with that? Do the GMs agree with that? Do the capologists agree with that? But they could pull out and say, yo, Saquon makes 10.9. What makes you think you should make 15? What makes you think you should make 12? You're coming off injury like Saquon was. Why should we give you more bread than Saquon? That's why Saquon, having his deal being put back on the table, allegedly, by the Giants, where he's looking around the $14 million per year range, that is what Jonathan Taylor needs to happen first before he could get his deal. In my opinion, that's how I think that's going to go. If the Colts give Jonathan Taylor more than like 11 to 12 mil, because even Christian McCaffrey, he's maxing out at 12 mil base pay. Now, it's the NFL. They got some funny money mixed in there where you could make more if you hit all these incentives, but just straight base pay, he's only getting 11 and 12 million the next couple of years. And that's Christian McCaffrey. So again, if the franchise tag is just under 11 mil, it's 10 point whatever mil. Why, if I'm the Colts, am I going to pay Jonathan Taylor more bread than Christian McCaffrey? It is absolutely the worst time ever. I'll say it again, just like I did in the video that dropped today. It is absolutely the worst time ever to be a top tier running back. It's the worst time. It's worst time ever just to be a running back, period. But it is compounded if you're a top tier running back. Corey Davis making more money than Saquon, bro. Come on, man. All right, what else we got? We only going to do an hour today because I have to make a run. But Tom Brady plans to have a, quote, very passive role in the management of the Raiders once his agreement to buy a piece of the team is approved by the league. Now, you can take this many different ways. I still stand firm that I think if the scenario presents itself, your man's Tom Brady is going to find a way to get back in the game. I firmly believe it. I stand tall on that. I don't have any reporting. I haven't done any sourcing or anything like that. I really just feel like your man's Tom Brady plans to have a very passive role. He's already rethinking that Fox deal. He wants to come back, bro. What else he gonna do? He wants to come back. Man's trying to be a stand-up comedian. He was trying to be on that T.I. shit, thought he could just walk right into being a stand-up comedian. That shit lasted a couple of months. If that. It's a wrap for that, bruh. Stephon Diggs showed up at camp, and he is practicing. Now, the last couple of days, he's just been there, but he has not practiced, not participated. Today, with all the back and forth the last couple of days, now we got your man Stephon Diggs actually practicing at camp. All right, let's see what we got here. Clear all of that. Let's go. Who we want to look up? Whose timeline do we want to look up? Ari, where's Ari at? There's Ari. Okay, what's Ari got today? DeAndre Hopkins found Matthew Judon in the Patriots locker room during his free agent visit. Okay. It will be really sad if DeAndre Hopkins ends up with the Patriots. It will be extremely sad to me. Because his wish list did not include no damn Mac Jones. He had all the top QBs as his wish list. And he's going to end up with Mac Jones? Yikes. Bucks signed a kicker. We're not wrapped into that. Okay. All right, this is interesting. Kirk Cousins confirmed that he doesn't expect to have further contract extension talks this offseason, meaning he's set to play out the final year of his deal and is now scheduled to be a free agent next offseason. I don't really care too much about this story except for one thing. If Kirk Cousins has another Kirk Cousins year, I just want to know one question. Will he continue to get fully guaranteed money? Will another team, because Washington did it, but that was easy because it was just his rookie deal and then the franchise tag. So all of that was meant to be guaranteed. But then the Vikings stepped up and guaranteed all of Kirk Cousins' money. Again, all but $2 million of the money that Kirk Cousins has amassed in his career is not fully guaranteed. Only $2 million of it. All the rest of it is fully guaranteed. Will he be able to get yet another fully guaranteed contract? Something that would be unprecedented. To get three teams to pay, it's like Broadman fifth flow. 3 teams out here paying fully guaranteed contracts? Okay, more stuff on Diggs, so we saw that. Okay. Saquon, we did that. All right, so we could pretty much cover that. There's nothing there. What about our guy Dove? Is there anything new from Dove? We might be wrapping it up here. Oh yeah, Thomas, I see you. Mike Malone turned up. Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Dalvin Cook, playoff Lenny, Zeke, all of them. Yes, it's a lot of bros that are just out here with no jobs. No jobs. Leonard Fournette is another good name. Zeke is another one. It's a lot of dudes out here with no bread that are capable running backs. Okay, so there's a report that the Titans have made a contract offer to DeAndre Hopkins. Again, Mac Jones was not on his wish list. Ryan Tannehill and or Malik Willis was not on DeAndre Hopkins' wish list. If you want to know what DeAndre Hopkins' wish list actually was, there's a video here on this channel. I broke it all down. Thomas he should get more. He should get paid more than Corey Davis. Yeah, it's really wild, bro. It's wild. All those running backs that can't get the same bread. It's really, really wild. All right, let's see what we get from my guy. Oh, let's see. Warren Sharp. He has some good analysis stuff, but I don't know if he had anything. Nope, copyright. Skip past all of that. Copyright. All right, so not much from Warren today. Yeah, it's a little slow today, to keep it a buck with you. Oh yeah, this is literally what I was just saying. Yeah, out of 229 million, out of 231 million, 229 of it has been fully guaranteed for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins hasn't signed a deal that wasn't fully guaranteed since he was a rookie. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now that he's officially going to be a free agent and this appears to be his last year in Minnesota, can he get another contract that's fully guaranteed to go along with the bread he's been collecting for years? All right, let's see what else we got from your man Schefter. Anything? Nah, it's dead vibes today. It's a little dead vibes today. All right, let's see. We'll do one last check. Shams, give us anything. Pelicans are parting ways with assistant coach Teresa Witherspoon. Teaspoon. Witherspoon has been on the staff since 2020, developing a strong rapport with players like Zion Williamson and turned down other opportunities in hopes of rising in New Orleans. Okay. I think him mentioning developing a strong rapport with players like Zion Williamson is that insinuating something. There's been a lot of speculation about Zion potentially being moved and being available via trade. Does Teaspoon leaving send more of a signal that Zion is actually available? Oh, it's a lot of little stuff today. I don't mind it, though. This right here might be the worst reporting and the worst aggregating, but the fact that it did views, it'll never go away because of that number right there. This right here is everything I hate about media and working in sports media and just being involved in it. The Celtics are contemplating the possibility of dealing one of their guards. The fuck does that mean? You know how many guards are on the Boston Celtics? And that's thanks to Danny Ainge. You know how many guards are on Boston? What does this even mean? Like, let's placate it one time before I officially get up out of here, right? Look at all these guards. Look at all these guards. Which one of these guards? Okay, it's 5 guards. Peyton Pritchard. We out here. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Let me move that over. We out here creating this tweet, contemplating the possibility of dealing one of their guards, Peyton Pritchard, who already said he wants to be traded. Peyton Pritchard gets a tweet that gets over 500,000 views. Crazy, bro. Nasty work. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon. There's a two-way guy, J.D. Davison. Is he the reason why we're getting this tweet? Is he one of the guards that the Celtics are contemplating? Like, come on, bro. Derek White. Come on, man. I hate this shit, bro. I really do. I hate it when it gets buckled down to stuff like this. I hate it. I really do not enjoy it. I do not like it. Thomas in the chat, owner and player. Tom wants to play again. Yeah, bro. To me, it's like he's just trying to wait his opportunity and wait for the right window of opportunity to just jump right in there and spin the block. And why not? You want Jimmy G or Brady? We'll touch on this tomorrow. I feel like it's going to be a slow Friday, so I'm going to save the cat nonsense for tomorrow. But yeah, cat is big wildin'. Again, this is more stuff that we're talking about. The Boston Celtics have asked the Detroit Pistons about Isaiah Stewart. I mocked this on the Elon app and quoted it by saying championship. Because, I mean, again, what news is this, bro? And James Edwards III, if you don't know who his pops is, do your Googles. It's wild. It's wild. Thomas in the chat, Vikings were crazy for that. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not mad at it. If that's the guy you really think you want, then pay him the bread. Pay him the bread. And I love the fact that it's guaranteed. All these players, but specifically more so than the rest of the league, to a certain degree, of course, but still, quarterbacks should be getting fully guaranteed money in the NFL. But right now, Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Watson were the only ones brave enough to do it. Aaron Rodgers had a fully guaranteed extension, but in that trade with the Jets, he had to walk that back and free up some of that bread. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. I don't think there's not that much else going on. Let's just make sure. Yeah, nope, same stuff. All right, y'all. I got to make a move anyway, so I'm going to keep it short today, only an hour. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more content next week as we get ready for the first live stream of the 2023 NBA Draft. We will be live streaming here on the channel, a little watch along. So make sure to subscribe and tune in for that. But yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow after the draft and maybe after free agency. We'll start to slow down with the live streams, do more pre-recorded content, get the DCMD podcast back up and running as it should be, and we'll take it from there. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it to a friend. Get them to subscribe. We're trying to run the numbers up here. The channel is performing very well. It's kind of... It makes me feel good to see the channel do well and people to engage with the content, even if it's negative. Don't matter. You took the time to watch it. If you don't like it, cool. I just enjoy that feedback and engaging in the comment section. As long as we keep it real in the comments. You do some bullshit, then all right, I'm gonna air you out. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll check y'all tomorrow for another edition of Timeline T. I am the Sam D, aka Sid Jr. Peace.